Hi students, I hope you can hear me and see me okay on this our last video of week 12. Um, I want to say I have finished reading your papers and the grades are in. So many of you I'm sure have looked at that. And just as an FYI, among the people in the class, the majority did the case study. About 5 or 6 did the faculty development plan. No one did the compare and contrast. And I can understand that because that's a difficult kind of concept if you're not really swimming on a regular basis in these materials. So anyway, this is the last day of week 12. It's been a rather long semester. I thank you for staying in there with me. I've certainly enjoyed going over these materials with you in a longer 12-week format, which I found very interesting. And I know it had some challenging readings and some of the assignments were kind of tough as well. Um, but basically, it worked out fine. Just a little glitch at the end. Um, some of you just sent the link to your e-portfolio, but I cannot grade your papers from there. They can only be graded from the Grade Center, and that was corrected, and that worked out fine. And I want to thank those who did the postings of what they felt were sort of the salient takeaways from this course. So I'm going to give a little shout out to some of those. Alexandra talked about how much she learned about the tenure versus the non-tenure because we had a whole section on contingent faculty and the benefits of doing a faculty development plan. David talked about the benefits to his work. In particular, he does yeoman's work with veterans. And his main interest, of course, is in the transition that veterans experience moving from military service to college life or college environments. Catherine said she had a better appreciation for the corporate university within which she works, and this course gave her exposure to the traditional academic environment. So that was quite revealing. Thanks for sharing that. Michael talked about the emphasis this offers and enhancement, excuse me, this offers in his work with student development. And he particularly liked the topic of the faculty learning communities. And Nicole, who works in high school, said that she learned a great deal as well, and particularly of the reward systems and the tenure process. And Nicole, it was nice to have you here with your perspective. Sumana talked about the traditional students and the markets that we've known for many years are now really influx and remain a thing of the past. And that's certainly very true. And that's been a message she's been bringing on a consistent basis. Thank you for that. And Brianna, her takeaway was the faculty learning communities and the positive roles that they can have in faculty development. And she gave an interesting twist saying that this knowledge that she experienced in this course could help her in her role of advising students when they're going off to college for the first time. So you can see there are many benefits, and I want to close as I do in most of my courses with a little bit of a reading. This is one of your textbooks. I don't know if you can see it here. I'm holding it up. You probably can't see it too well. This is the American Faculty by Schuster and Finkelstein. You've got a couple of interesting chapters in here. I'm going to give you a few comments that I think are salient. In the chapter on the professoriate, they talk a big deal about the diversification of higher education. And you've heard me say this a lot. So the term faculty, when you have, 18 million students and faculty are always, outside of students, the largest voice and the largest segment and the biggest expense line in all of higher education. And this is from their section on the professoriate, page 53. To speak of the professoriate in the academy is always hazardous because this supercategory encompasses so many disparate cultures and experiences. And then, you've heard me talk about that, the diversity of higher education. We must remain cognizant of that at all times. And another takeaway is the chapter on the changing complexion of faculty work. We've talked a great deal about the expanding pressures and demands on faculty from their traditional roles to what it is now, the large number of contingent forces. And I thought an interesting point that they made in one of their studies, and this is from page 81, the data that they supported in their studies is the proportion of faculty who report working more than 50 hours a week has doubled since 1972. So my hope is that your collective takeaway from this course is a greater appreciation for the complexities of being a faculty member, whether you're a tenured faculty member, a new appointee as an instructor, or the contingent force of which that number is increasing over and over again. This knowledge will help you as you move forward in completion of your Masters of Education program. And some of you may find a topic here that would be a benefit for doctoral studies. But more importantly, I'm expecting that most of you will be in higher education for many years to come as a place of employment and place of professional growth. I hope you'll continue to read about faculty and about their growth and the challenges they face in the circumference of all the issues with the changing in demographics, the role of technology and the newer markets of international students and the adult students. And be cognizant, and as you move into leadership positions, and most of you will, that you'll be armed with some knowledge and sensitivity that will help you in your decision making. Okay? That's my closing comment. I really enjoyed having you in this course, and I'm hopeful that I will have you in perhaps a different course, or maybe I'll get to see you at commencement time. My very best to you.